This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Okay, I'm thinking that Liz is the only one who's working on a Pfaff this morning, right? Diane, you're on an Epic? And both Dianes are on Epics. Judy and Meg and Carol Foss and are on Epics. So this instruction was interesting. What you're seeing here is a sample of it, other than my trash can. But it's actually done in two pieces. The bottom part is one piece and the top part is another piece. That actually, we're not sewing anything out in class today because of how long it takes to sew out. This top part takes like at least an hour to sew out once you've built it. So we're going to try to make sure that we get them built and you can sew them out on your own. There are some instructions in the handout for sewing them out. But what I'd like to start out with is basically this bottom part, because it uses our app on our iPhone or iPad or whatever you have to position the fabric in the hoop and to get the design in the right place. So I would like you to start off by getting your three pieces of fabric for this bottom part and getting them sewn together and the seams pressed away from the centerpiece. Okay. So if you I hope you have your fabric cut. If not, it's just, you just need, 3 strips. And if you would prefer to do it on a test one, that's fine too. Okay. Any problems with doing that?
I didn't know we were gonna, here I am again. I didn't know we were gonna do that because it said in the directions we weren't gonna be stitching it out, so I didn't get fabric ready.
It
Me
is-
either.
Okay, well, all you need is 3 2.5-inch strips, and if you just have some scraps laying around, that's fine, because we're not going to stitch it. We just need to be able to hoop the 3 pieces of fabric sewn together. All right, and they do need to be, this center one is the critical one. It needs to be 2.5. The outside ones, it doesn't matter what dimensions those are. Just so long as your center strip ends up being 2 inches. And, just because we're going to put that piece of fabric into our hoop, and then we're going to take a picture with our phone and send it to the machines.
It'll only take me a second to cut it.
That's okay, Diane. You're in good company here. And if that's something that you can't really do very easily, you can just watch, and hopefully the instructions and seeing it done will be good enough that you can do it later on your own. All right. And I apologize for that because I didn't decide to do it in this order until after the instructions had gone out.
Based on what you know about the project, which one should go in the middle? Green or blue?
Well, the way the project looks, it's kind of, I thought it was kind of like grass. If this is going to be your good one, the phrase it says when skies are gray, and that's why it's on a piece of gray fabric. If you've got something that looks kind of grayish,
I'll just practice then, because
but you know, you can certainly take them apart afterwards, because we're just going to build the design and you'll save it in your machine and then can come back and do it over. Okay.
yep.
Liz, you okay with this?
Yes, I put this together now for embroidery.
I'm sorry?
Set the machine up now for embroidery.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's perfect. Did you press the seam allowances away from the center?
Yep. Yes.
Good girl. All right. Thank you.
Now set it up for embroidery.
Yes, set it up for embroidery. We just need to be in embroidery mode for it to build the design.
Okay.
Okay. And did you save your 2 stitches that came with the handout?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am. Remember Friday you asked me about those 2 stitches?
I got them. They're on the and how I don't understand. I just all I did was transfer them over to a USB. Then I took the USB and put it in my machine and it picked it up. How does it do that? How come it does that? Because it's got such a different thing on it, you know, extension on it.
Well, that's the extension that is used for the stitches in the Pfaff, not the embroidery designs.
I don't
your
understand
decorative
how that
stitches.
works.
It's just, stitches have a different extension than a design.
So can you take a stitch off of your machine and just put it on the USB and put it on and then stitch it on another machine?
It has to be a Pfaff machine.
On the what?
It has to be a Pfaff, because that extension, that's not, the Viking has a different extension.
Oh, how did you said that was a Viking stitch? How did you get it changed over?
No, it wasn't a Viking stitch. It's instead of a Viking stitch. It was the closest one I could find to a Viking stitch.
Okay. I'm thinking, how did she do that? Get a Viking stitch over there? Like, okay.
No, but you can make stitches for the Pfaff in our software. You cannot make stitches for the Viking.
Okay. I was just curious about that.
That's okay. You can be curious.
Now, if I take a picture with my phone, how do I do that? I have a new telephone. I don't even know how to use it.
Okay, you have to have app loaded. Did you transfer your old phone over?
Well, they transferred, but didn't get transferred. Let's see.
Okay, what you're looking for is this one, right? Whoopsie, don't touch it. Go away. You
I
want
would-
the one that says "Sew Notice."
Okay,
This
let me
one.
see if it transfers.
And the Viking people are going to use my Sew Monitor. But once you open them, they look the same.
They didn't transfer. Now I don't even know how to get apps on this thing.
You should, what kind of phone is it? Is it an iPhone?
No, it's an Android.
Well, then you should be able to go to your app store, your Google store,
Is-
and find.
Is it Play Store?
Huh?
Is it the Play Store? Is that what you
I don't
opened?
know. I don't have an Android.
Oh,
Carol
Let me
Foss, can you help? Where do you go for apps?
Yeah, that's the right one. Play Store.
Play Store?
No,
Yes.
it's not, she said. Do you have an app store?
A what?
Isn't it?
See this phone. This phone has different. Oh, here I see something. It says apps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now where do I go?
Well, you should be able to search for Pfaff.
Apps. Search. Oh, should I put Pfaff up here in the search thing?
Yes, ma'am. Put Pfaff up there in the search, please. Thanks, Carol.
Or Pfaff? Okay. What do I need? The Pfaff creator cue, the notice, or the image?
The notice. So notice.
So I want to load that, right?
Yes, please.
Where to go?
Well, it'll probably take a minute or two.
This phone is making me crazy. I can't find half of it. How do I know if it did it?
Well, if you go get out of the app store, there should be a little icon on your home screen for that.
Hit that.
Hey, Judy,
Yes, Diane.
do I need my arm on my machine to do the stitch creation?
No,
Okay.
you shouldn't.
Great.
Okay. People will let me know when you have your fabrics together. We're gonna build our clouds first.
Don't notice. I don't know how to get this thing to move. Oh, there, I found it.
All right.
Complete account setup. Continue.
And when you open it, it should look like this.
Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. It says I have to scan a card.
What?
It says scan a credit or debit card.
Oh, it should be free.
It's free. I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, it should be free.
How do I get, I don't know. Nope. See, it says scan a debit or credit card.
Huh. Something's
Don't even know
not right. Maybe you didn't.
Huh?
Diane Pascal, can you mute your mic, please, hon? She didn't hear me. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Androids.
Liz, did you try Play Store?
Did I try what?
Play
Play
Store?
Store, that first one you wanted to go to?
Yes, and I got it and it's installed it, but it said it wanted a credit card.
Even under Play Store?
Even under Play Store?
Oh, I have an image stitch on here on my apps. That doesn't, I need the other one though, right?
Yes, you need Sew Notice.
Try it again. Install. Okay, install. Continue. Okay, now it says add a payment option. Now it says add a payment option to your account.
I
But or can I skip that? Maybe I'll skip it and see
you
what happens.
skip it if you
I
can.
did.
Maybe because this is the first time you're trying to download something.
Oh, I got it. Would you like to help us make this app even better? Let's click the numbers. You can always adjust this. No thanks.
So we just need our hoop with stabilizer in it.
Let's just hang on for right now, okay, Diane?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you will need some tearaway stabilizer for your hoop, and you will need a hoop that is 360 long.
Okay. That.
But you will want to, don't hoop your stabilizer yet because you want the fabric in the hoop too. Okay, Epic people, can we start making our cloud for now? If you haven't already done it. Miss Meg has her clouds already made, and so does Judy. Okay. So, as you have found out, these instructions incorporate both the Viking and the Pfaff information on them. And I'm going to start with the Viking while Liz is working on her phone.
Okay, I got it.
You're perfect. You're a good girl.
No,
Thank
it's
you
just,
so much. Thanks for your help, Carol Foss.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
hit save now. Okay, see what happens.
Okay, well, don't do anything yet. We're going to use it in a minute, and I'm going to go through the Viking part to create the clouds, and then I will do the Pfaff part to create the clouds because they are different. All right.
So just sit here and listen, right?
Okay, so if you want to look at the instructions, Liz, you can go to page 6 where it says create on a Pfaff here. And you can kind of read through that if you want. All right. But that's once we get the Viking clouds made, then I will skip over to that and we'll do it on the Pfaff for you. Okay, so we want to be in sewing on the Viking and we want to say start new. All right. And we want to use the, once you have your screen up, you want to select the program function, which is the A and the zigzag down at the very bottom of your screen here. Can you see it on mine? That's the function you want to be in. You want to select that one right down here. All right. So that's the function you want to be in on your machine.
Judy,
Uh-huh.
this is Diane. I have a Viking 1,
Yes.
and I'm not sure where you are. Are you
go
in the
to-
little green
You want to
part?
go to program.
The program. Okay.
You want to go to program. Okay.
Okay, I did that.
Okay, so you should have, because that's what this screen says. This screen says program,
Yep.
right? So you should be good.
Great. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Just if you can't find something because it's a different name, ask me because I found the manual because Leslie was having a problem Friday and I have some cross references here for the designer one. Okay. All right, so we want to go to the R menu, which is our pictogram stitches. So open your R menu and it should look like that. Okay. And you want to select stitch R25. The numbers are above the stitch, not below it. So this is R25 right here. You want to select that and it shows up on your screen in blue with a line underneath it. That line is our cursor. All right. And we want to mirror that stitch end to end. So over here on the left-hand side, the second one from the bottom on this row of icons here is our mirror end to end. Touch that and it will flip your stitch upside down. So it looks like that. Okay. All right. Now we just want to add another R25 stitch. So we're just going to go down here and touch that R25 again. And now your screen should look like this. All right. Now we want to move these stitches so they're not right in line with each other. So in order to do that, we need to get our cursor up between those stitches. To do that, we're going to touch this very top arrow on the left-hand side, and that's going to move our blue line up in between those two stitches. All right. Then we're going to come over here in our stitch menu, and we're going to open up menu T, as in terrible. are terrific. That is known as 8-way stitches. That will allow you to put single stitches or triple stitches in wherever your cursor is. We're going to use just the top part, the single stitches. And I'm on step 4 on the bottom of page 3. Okay, and it just explains what I have talked about, the single stitches and the triple stitches. Then you're going on, turn the page on page 4, step number 5. We want to touch this arrow that's on the upper left-hand corner 1 time. And you can see that it has caused those stitches to not be in line as they were before. Now we want to add more stitches, but we don't want the stitches to go in between there where the cursor is. We want them to add on the bottom. So we're going to move our cursor down by touching the down arrow, the second one on the left-hand side, to put our cursor down at the bottom of our stitches. All right? Okay. Then we want to add, go back to your R menu and add another one of those stitches, the R25 stitch. And again, we're going to repeat this thing of adding stitches, moving our cursor up, putting our 8-way stitches in, moving our cursor back down, adding a stitch, moving the cursor until we get through this whole sequence of clouds. So we have just added another R25 stitch. We're going to use the up arrow to again move our cursor. And that doesn't look right to me. Let me go back and check my work here. Okay, R25. Okay, it is work, right, all right. And so I'm going to move my cursor up between 2 and 3. And I am on, I shouldn't have moved my cursor. I need to mirror that end to end first. So if you moved your cursor, I'm sorry, move it back down, and mirror your stitch, and then move your cursor. Okay, so your screen should look like this one. Now on step 9 on page 4, in the T menu, we're going to touch what I'm going to call the 12 o'clock arrow 1 time. We're going to touch the 1 o'clock arrow 1 time, the 12 o'clock arrow 2 times, and the 1 o'clock arrow 1 more time. So your clouds should look like that. Any problems? Okay, thanks, Diane. All right, so now we're ready to move our cursor back down so we can add another R25 stitch. All right, come on, there we go. And that one is the right direction, so we don't need to mirror it. So I am on step 11 on page 5, and I'm moving my cursor up between the 3rd and 4th stitch. And I'm going to do what it says in step 12 on page 5. In the T menu, I'm going to touch the 12 o'clock arrow 3 times. And I'm going to touch the 3 o'clock arrow 3 times. And that's what that should look like. Okay, and then I'm going to move my cursor back down. All right. Page, oh, at the bottom of that was the original sequence that was in the instructions. On the bottom of page 5, I've added some additional instructions if you want to make a longer cloud sequence. It's in that little box at the very bottom of the page. So if you want to make your clouds longer, go back to your, after you've got your cursor at the very end, go back to your R menu, add another R25 stitch, mirror it end to end, move your cursor up so it's between the 4th and 5th stitches. In the T menu, the upper left corner, the 10 o'clock arrow once, and the 12 o'clock arrow twice. Then move the cursor back down to the bottom of your stitches and add one more R25 stitch, and then you're finished. So your sequence of clouds should look like that, or somewhere close. Okay. Diane, Ryan, you okay? Diane Pasco? Carol Foss, you okay? Okay.
I'm good.
Now you okay, hon?
Good.
Okay, thank you. Now we want to save. So we want to go down here to our heart, touch it, and it says save, and it has down here, it has new program.sh7. That's the stitches in Viking all have that sh7 on the back of it. So we want to erase that name with our little backward arrow and then save it, say clouds. And then save it wherever you want on your machine and in your cloud. All right.
Judy, I assume that I'm going to go to the heart folder and then do everything you said.
Yes. You
Okay.
mean, well, this one? You're talking about that? Oh, yes, yours. Yours is heart folder, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No
Yes.
problem.
You're correct.
How can we check to make sure it's there?
Did it say saved?
Yeah, so go to the heart, open the file.
So go to your,
It's there.
it's there. Okay, good.
Oh, wait. No. I just hit the save button again. So how do I just pull up the,
So X out of that screen. See that big red X over on the left-hand side?
yep. Okay, so now go in there. I'm guessing.
So you're gonna go into your look, Diane. See your little folder over here, the yellow one?
Yep.
Touch
Got it.
that. And then touch your heart cloud. And you should be able to find it.
And then what makes it load?
Well, we don't want to load it yet.
I know, I just want to make, well, I guess it is there, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay.
Okay? All right,
Got
so that's, now I want to work with Liz to create hers, all right? So in the meantime, if you would get your fabric hooped with tearaway stabilizer in a 360 long hoop. And what I tried to do was to line up these little marks that show the center of the hoop with the seam of the gray fabric, all right? So if you will get that hoop, Liz and I will make her clouds. Okay? Liz, you ready to make clouds? All right. Come on, little ball.
I got both on the screen.
You got both what on the screen, sweetie? All right. We want to be an embroidery edit, okay? You an embroidery edit on your machine?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Hardly. Where are you? You kind of faded away.
All right, maybe I'm because, is this better? Can you hear me now?
No, where'd you go? I heard you really good until just now.
Huh. That's not good. It's because they should be picking it up. Maybe, can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, so it's not using the right mic.
Okay, so I'm down. I have both of the clouds on my screen. Okay, I just don't know how to go from there.
All right, so let's see. No, get out of here.
I need to get it in between the.
All right, you need to be in Sequence Creator.
I am sequin. I am.
You am? Okay. All right, in Sequence Creator, all right, you're gonna load the Cloud 1 stitch.
I've got that in there. Okay.
All right. All right, you loaded that. Come on, wake up. Cloud 1, and Cloud 2,
I've got them both there.
like mine, right?
What?
Like mine. You got both of them there, like mine,
Yes.
on my screen.
One is green and one is black.
Yeah. The green one is your active one.
Yes.
Okay. So now I want you to move your cursor up between those two stitches by touching your up arrow.
Okay.
That'll make the first one green and the bottom one black.
Okay. Yeah, got that.
All right, now you need to go to your 16-way menu, this thing here.
Yes. Okay.
All right. And you want to press the plus sign on the -135 one time.
Okay. And it turns them both black?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we want to press the down arrow. So
Well, where's the down arrow?
the down arrow is right here.
Mine I just have an up arrow.
Well, is your 16-way menu covering it up? Did you?
Oh, maybe that's what's wrong. Yeah, that's what's wrong. Okay. I know, I kept fooling with it and whatnot. Okay, got it.
Okay, now we're on step 10 on page 5.
Okay. On step 10,
Okay.
you're on page.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. We should be on page 7.
I'm on page 7, and I have to hit the plus thing now.
You have to, no, you have to load the cloud stitch 1 again. So you have 3 stitches.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, got it.
All right, now touch your up arrow
Uh-huh.
so that your middle stitch is green.
Okay, I got the stitch. Move the cursor up between stitches 2 and 3.
Right.
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Touch the
Now we're going to go to our 16-way menu,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to touch what I call the 112.5, which is between the 90 and the 135. The one that doesn't have a label.
Okay.
You want to touch that one twice. You want to touch the 135 twice. And the one up from the 135 once.
Oh,
Okay. Now
Yeah.
touch your down arrow.
touch the down. Touch. Move the cursor to the bottom of stitch 3. How come I have 8 and 9 on here?
Because when your cursor was up there, it tells you what stitch you're on. You are on stitch 8 of 9.
Oh, so I have to go down where it says to stitch 3, where it says 3.
Stitch 3 should be green. Your cursor should be at the bottom of stitch 3.
Okay, it says stitch 3. May move the cursor to the bottom of stitch 3.
Okay, so now we're ready for step 6.
Where should the cursor be at? Where should it look like? Should it be up there?
It should be green at the bottom. Stitch 3 should be green, and there should be a long green line right there.
Let me
Where my
see your
finger-
whole thing. How many stitches you have on there?
I have 11 because I did not clear my,
Oh,
were you in embroidery or were you in sewing?
I'm in embroidery.
Okay. Because there's 2 tie stitches, and
You know where the cursor is? It's at the bottom of the first stitch at the top. Is that where it's supposed to be?
no, it's supposed to be at the very bottom of all of your stitches.
Okay. Well, I did something wrong because it's not doing that.
What does it say? What
All right,
number do
at the
you
bottom
have?
of all my stitches, it's on 9-9. It's on 9.
It's on 9-9. That's fine.
Huh?
Okay,
It's at the bottom.
that's good. It's on stitch 9 of 9 stitches. Okay. All right. Let's go to step 6.
Okay.
We want to load cloud 2.
All right.
So now you should have 4 stitches on there, 4 big stitches.
Now I have 4 stitches. Okay.
All right. So now we want to touch our up arrow. So it's at the cursor is at the bottom of the 3rd stitch.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to our 16-way menu.
And hit the 135 4 times.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Move the
Okay.
cursor to the bottom of there.
Okay. So now you should have 14 of 14, right?
I have 12, 12.
9, 12.
Move the cursor to the bottom of stitch 4, low cloud, stitch 1.
Well, you had
What?
9, you added a stitch, should have added 5 stitches. Maybe you didn't hit the 135 exactly 4 times.
Okay, so where are you on? Okay, I did say I did number 6. Move to the bottom. I'm at the
Okay,
bottom.
number 7. Are you
Yeah.
ready for number 7? Is your
Yeah.
cursor at the bottom?
Okay, I loaded stitch 1.
Okay. Now we're gonna hit the up arrow and move our cursor up 1 whole stitch.
5.
And this time we're gonna go over to the opposite, the left-hand side of our 16-way menu where the numbers have minus signs in front of them. So we want to touch the one between minus 90 and minus 135 5 times.
5. Okay, did that. Move the cursor to the bottom.
Right.
And then go and do 135 3 times, right?
Yeah. The plus 135.
1, 2, 3. Move the cursor to bottom 6.
Okay.
It is
So now you should have something that kind of looks like mine.
okay. We went to 6.
All right. So now you can
Save
save
it.
that
Okay.
somewhere where you know where it is.
Oh. Oh, that's a call from Sew-ciety. Hello? Yes. You got everything right, because I'm talking to Judy at Sew-ciety. I'm doing my class. All right, bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, touch the part at the bottom. Okay.
And that'll give you your save screen.
Why does it when you touch the heart? Isn't there a different thing on here besides the cloud?
Well, the cloud and your machine are the same, basically.
Oh, so that's why, because I have to delete some things out of that cloud, so I'm going to send it to my USB. Because I never have cleaned out that cloud.
Okay, well, you can do it on your computer or you can do it on the machine here.
Well,
And I can show you that a little later if you want.
I could just hit USB drive and save it.
You can save it on your USB, yes.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Because I have to do something with that.
All right.
Oh.
So now we are at the point where we are going to use our fabric that we have in our hoop. All right. And let me do it here. Oh, wait. Oopsie. We want to take a picture of our hoop with the app on our phone. All right.
No, okay. Well, what'd you say? I was busy.
Do you have your fabric hooped
Okay.
with some stabilizer, Miss Liz?
Okay.
That's because my camera's sideways. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay. Okay, you want to put your hoop somewhere where you can see the whole thing, and you want it oriented just like it is when it's, whoopsie, come back here. Just like it is when it's on the machine. So you want the connector. I can't find my hoop. That's stupid. Okay. You want it, the connector on the left-hand side. All right. And you want to open your app on your phone, your brand new app, Elizabeth. You want to open that on your phone, okay? And it should look like this.
Okay.
And you want to touch the top one that says design placement. All right. And get your phone up to where you can see the whole hoop, everything about your hoop in your picture, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to take a picture of your hoop. So when you got it ready, touch the arrow, and up at the top of your phone, you should see something that tells you what size hoop you have. If that's not correct, then touch it. It will give you a list of the hoops, and select the hoop that you are actually using and touch it. Should then have that number at the top of your phone screen.
No,
All
I got
right.
yours.
Any questions so far?
Yeah, mine doesn't look like yours.
It doesn't. What's it look like?
It doesn't. Wait a minute, I lost it again. Ooh, where'd it go?
So Judy, you know how yours has the little red circles
Yeah.
at the corner, but it's just on your fabric? Mine's at the corners of the hoop.
Okay. Now just hang on. We're
Okay.
getting there.
Okay.
Did you find it, Liz?
No, all right, I hit design placement. Now I see it, but all I have is
So
a
you
camera and
have
an
to take
arrow.
a picture of it by touching the little.
Oh, take a picture first, right?
Yes, you have to take a picture first and make sure you get all of the hoop in there, all of it.
Make sure I get what? All the gray or all the what?
The whole hoop, that you can see the outside of the hoop. See my picture here? You can see the whole hoop in it.
Judy, I'm kind of lost too. I'm on the husqvarnaviking.com, and I have like a My Sew Net. Where am I supposed to be on my phone?
You should be in my Sew Notice app.
Say it one more time. My
Sew, S-E-W, Notice. And I'm sorry, my Sew Monitor.
okay.
That's an app that you load from the App Store. Are you an iPhone?
I am.
Okay, should load it from the App Store.
So,
Okay, then I hit 360 by 260, right?
Yes, ma'am?
And then what do I do?
Okay, then where's Diane Ryan? Then do you see the little pink circles?
Yeah,
Okay, you're going to touch one of those, and then you will get an exploded view of what you're doing. You want to put that little pink crosshair exactly in the corner of your hoop. Now your hoop probably has a rounded corner, so kind of ignore that round part and put it, it's not going to show up right. Put it so that you can, there, put it so it goes exactly, so the legs of that pink are on right against the gray of the corner, and a little bit of that, the center of the gray is gonna be on the gray part, the plastic part of the hoop. Does that make sense? I can't do it and show you on the camera exactly. All right, whoopsie. And that's what the pink circles are for, Diane Ryan, to adjust the exact, so you get an exact placement of the inside of your hoop. That
That
makes
is
sense?
very cool.
That is cool. Very, very cool. And once you have them,
What do
where
you do? What do you
you
do
want
with?
them. I'm sorry, Liz.
What do you do with this?
Well, now you're gonna touch the arrow down at the bottom of your screen.
The
The
arrow?
arrow that points to the right.
Oh,
And you're going to get a screen that should say success. The image represents the hooped fabric. Click on the send icon to send it to your My Sewnet enabled device. So you've got your little airplane symbol down here at the bottom. Touch that. And it tells me that I have a Designer Epic 2 and I have a Pfaff Creative icon. I'm going to send it to my Designer Epic 2. And it's going to say it sent it. And then on my Epic 2, excuse me a minute, I'm going to get a message. Do I want my phone to send commands to the machine? And I'm going to say yes. And it's going to immediately pop. And there is my hoop with my fabric in it. Did that work for you?
oh,
Yay, Diane Ryan. It's
how do you
pretty cool,
cancel
right?
stuff?
Now, I don't know if I did it, I went back and I also sent it to my Pfaff. So now I have it on both machines. All right.
What happens when you lose it? Where does it go?
Where did you lose it? On your phone?
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose it. Did you ever get a successfully sent?
Oh, I think so. I thought I did, and then it went back to nothing. So now I'm trying it again, but it's not working.
All right. So
So I took a picture. Find those things. See, it
So
goes-
one thing that I need you to do, and let's do it on the Epic.
let me see you do it, okay?
Okay. You took your picture, right?
Well, I don't know where it went.
Okay. Did you get this screen that said success after you moved the pink corners?
I got that screen after I lost the picture, but it wasn't someplace else. It was someplace different. I don't know what happened.
Then if you had this picture,
Okay, if I get that picture back some way, what happens then?
See this little airplane thing down here?
Then you send that to the machine.
Right. If I do that, it says you can send it to the Applique 2 or you can send it to the icon.
All I have to do is find that screen again, right?
Yeah.
This phone makes me crazy. I've lost a lot of stuff on it.
All right. While Liz is finding her stuff.
Judy, I have a question.
Yes, dear.
I was able to take a picture and I did the send. Well, it said success. The image represents the hooped fabric. But then I got a message that says no devices online. And I look at my sewing machine and I'm on the cloud and I'm on Wi-Fi. So any thoughts?
Is your phone signed into the MySewNet?
Wouldn't I have already done that when I went on to the this app that's on my phone?
You still have to sign on to MySewNet on your phone.
Okay, that's probably what I did wrong. Thank you.
Okay, try that. Okay.
Okay.
So Judy, do you think Liz just needs to retake the picture?
She may need to. I think she's doing it now. Let's go ahead and look at, if you can see the grid on my screen. Diane Pasco, you need, and everybody else, you need to set your grid to an inch. And on the Applique 2, if you will touch this little grid symbol down here, the crosshatch one, and hold it, you will get this screen. Diane Pasco, if you will touch your machine Joy of Sewing symbol up at the very top of your screen in the center, you will get back to that screen and we'll have the same kind of thing on it. All right. What we want to do is touch the grid symbol here to turn the grid on, and touch and hold it. And then you get a pop-up menu where you can set the size of your grid. Mine is sitting at 25.4, which happens to be 1 inch, which is where you want to set yours. All right.
I got it sent to my machine. It's not right.
Pardon, Liz?
I got it sent to my machine.
Okay. And then you have to tell your machine, okay.
I did. It's on there.
All right, cool. All right, now, Liz, I want you to go into hoop options. On
You
your
want me to
machine.
do what?
Go into hoop options on your machine.
On my machine?
Yes.
Oh,
Down at the
okay.
bottom, it says hoop options.
I got it.
Oh, Applique, close yours. And also on Applique, if you can activate your alignment marks, this one up here, touch it so it turns on, and then go back to embroidery edit. On your hoop options, Liz, set your grid to 25.4. Turn your grid on and set it to 25.4.
Okay.
All right. That gives you a grid of 1 inch. And then if your middle stripe is 2 inches wide, it should have 2 squares across. Okay.
How do you see the grid?
I'm sorry.
I don't see it.
You don't see what?
The grid.
Oh, you have to turn the grid on in Hoop Options.
On. It is on. It went back to 1 point. 24. No. Oh, okay. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
You can't see the grid at all?
Is the gray maybe too dark? Can I get rid of that background color?
Well, yes, but you should be seeing the grid over the whole screen, not just on the hoop.
I don't see it at all. Is there something?
Okay. Here in Hoop Options, your grid, the on thing should be green. The word on should be green.
Oh, the on thing should be green. Okay. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay! I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've got our screen up here. We've got our grid. We want to, if you don't, are your clouds still on your screen too?
Yes.
No. Okay. So you want to load your cloud from wherever you put it.
But it's
And
there.
huh?
It's there.
Okay, but it's not on the epics, hon. So they have to load theirs. Okay. Okay, and when you load it, it'll probably pop you to a wrong size hoop. Just change your hoop back to what it should be for your picture, and the background will come back. All right. You okay? All right, so
Judy, I don't have,
what, Diane?
I don't have it in, it's asking me for folder names and stuff. And I don't see it. I guess I have empty folders.
Okay.
So just continue on and I'll go back and fix it later.
All right. So when it comes in, our clouds are upside down. So the first thing we need to do is to mirror image them side to side. All right. So they look like that. And then, I just lost my toy. Then we want to move them so they are close to the bottom of the screen, but in our gray stripe or middle stripe, whatever color your middle stripe is, you want to move them down into there. All right. You got, and they should be toward the left side of that middle stripe, if you can see where mine are. All right. Then we're going to go into our font menu. And on the Vikings, we are going to pick Palace Script 12. So scroll up and select Palace Script 12. the Pfaff is going to use pouty 12. And we are going to type in when, capital W, the rest of it's in lowercase, when space skies space are space gray. All right, so that's what you want to have typed in, when skies are gray. Once you have that typed in, then it's going the wrong way. So we're going to hit OK or our check mark. And we need to rotate that. On the Applique, you can go to the rotate icon, touch it, touch the center of the control wheel 3 times, and now the words are facing the correct way. But now we need to move it so they are down with the almost, my W is under the curve of my first cloud. And that yellow stripe that you're seeing on my screen, that's my alignment mark. That's telling me that I am lined up and down. Okay. If you're happy with what you have, I mean, you can move it around. You've got basically that whole strip to put it in. All right. Now on Viking, we're going to use a built-in applique stitch. And on Pfaff, back on page 18, there was a little tutorial on how to make, there's a built-in stitch in the minis, number 89, that you need to go into resize and make it bigger and save it to use instead of this stitch that the Viking has built in. So if we, on the Vikings, if we will go to our stitch menu, which up at top here, the little zigzag thing, if we touch that, that takes us to our sewing stitches. And we want to go to menu L. And we want to select stitch. Whoopsie, come back here. We want to select stitch number 3, which is an applique sun stitch. All right. We want to drag that over to somewhere you can see. And then we want to duplicate that twice. So you end up with 3 sun stitches. Then you're going to take those sun stitches and stop that. Stop. And put them behind the words, when skies are gray. And those yellow marks that keep popping up, show me that I do or don't have them in line with each other. Come on. I guess it helps if I have it. See, when that yellow mark comes up, it's showing me that that's the middle of that stitch. And it lines it up with the other ones. So it's hard to see, but there are the 3 sun stitches that I have put in there. And now that is, you can space them out or put them close together however you like them. That is what is going to be embroidered in that middle strip. This right here. Okay, the Viking ones are applique, and the directions say to use the excess applique fabric that you had from the sun for these applique. The one on the Pfaff is totally stitched out. So now you are ready to save that, and you can stitch it out whenever. All right. Any questions? Any confusion?
I got a lot of questions.
Okay.
I'm way,
Nope.
way back. How do I get rid of the gray thing on my screen?
I'm sorry.
I can't get rid of the gray background.
In hoop options,
I would?
hoop options where you set the grid.
Okay.
All right, hang on. My camera's being.
Okay, I see.
Okay, you can set your background.
Okay,
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
Oh, okay, here we are.
Ugh. What are you doing to me? Okay. All right. So you can save that design now. And then when you're ready, you can stitch it out. And we can go on, and Liz, I'm sure that you can, on page 18, you can read what you need to do to make your sun stitches. Because yours are stitched out. They're not applique, okay?
And touch the triangle load.
So if you've got your clouds and your words, you can go ahead and save it and then come back and add your sun stitches into it.
Those open stitch settings and change the stitch length.
All right. Everybody but Liz have theirs saved.
Yes, Judy, what number are we on? What page?
Well, we are basically middle of page 20. We
Okay.
just finished number 11. And she talked about grouping it if you wanted to. But if you just save it, you can stitch it out.
Edit.
Got it.
Okay, so now we're going to go back to the front end of the instructions. And we are going to be on page 7. And we are going to be on the section called Design Shaping. So we are going to start a new embroidery. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. All right. So now, Liz, you should be able to work along with us. You're going to, did you print yours out in black and white or color?
Did I what?
When you printed your instructions, are they black and white or color?
I didn't hear you.
Are your instructions in black and white, or are they printed in color?
My instructions are color.
Okay, so then you pay attention to the green ones.
Uh-huh.
The ones that say Pfaff are the ones that say both. The Viking people will pay attention to ones that say Viking and both.
Okay, yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm following the Pfaff ones. They're in green.
Yes, and also you need to follow the both.
I need to
Not
follow, oh, the boat, way out, but I haven't, well, because I have to catch up. It's because
Okay.
I'm not up to anything that says both yet.
All right, so we're going to start off in embroidery edit with,
So Judy, can I ask a question real quick?
I'm sorry, yes?
A question. So when I started a new one, it brought back up the gray background with my fabric. But
Go
the clouds and weren't there. So
Go back to your Joy of Sewing screen.
yeah, and when I do that, it still has the fabric and the,
But did
Loop in
you
there.
say start new? Did you say
Yeah.
embroidery and start new?
I said embroidery, standard embroidery, and start new. And
down and touch start new at the bottom.
yeah, I did.
I did that too. I'm having the same problem.
And I can't figure out how to get it off my screen. It won't let me select it to delete it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just changed hoop size and it got rid of it. But then if I go back to 360 by 260,
It's
brings it
there.
back. I shut my
Okay.
machine. Okay, now I'll try that. I'm following you, what you put.
It didn't work.
It did on mine. Oh, no, it didn't. It's still there.
Nope.
I'm going to turn my machine off. You
I
think?
didn't know. I would have thought that said going to start new would have done that, but okay, mine's blank because I used a different size hoop. But if you reboot, I'm sure it'll go it'll go away.
It's starting up.
Okay. Diane Pasco, a lot of the tools that have been put down at the bottom of the screen on the Applique 2
Mhm.
are in your toolbox.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
So-
still waiting for my machine to boot up. There we go.
Okay. Let me know when you're cooking. We want to be
It's
in
all on mine.
You okay, Diane, Ryan? Okay. All right.
I'm good.
You're good? All right, we're on page 7. We're in embroidery edit with a clear screen, hoop size of 360 by 260. Our grid is still on. We don't really worry about the size of the grid at this moment. But we have done already step 2 on page 7. Viking, you're all good. Pfaff, we're, let's see. Okay. Viking, and we want to be in, shoot, where am I? Stitch menu 38. Okay. Viking step number 5, page 8. All right. In your stitch menu, in your A menu, we want to select stitch number 38, which is a basting stitch. Okay, just touch that and get it loaded on your screen. Okay, you should have this little tiny square on your screen and it looks like there's nothing in it. Okay, Pfaff, you want to go into Sequence Creator. Liz, are you following the stuff on page 7?
Page 7.
Page 7, number 2, at the bottom.
Okay.
All right, when you open Sequence Creator, you're going to have 2 thick stitches that you want to delete. You want to load stitch 1, your sewing stitch 111, and change the length to 5. This is all on the bottom of page 7.
I already did that.
Let me know when you're okay, Liz.
Touch the one. Touch the one. And then go 17.
Okay, okay. Viking needs to do a couple more things and then we'll talk. You can, Liz, you can get with us, okay? So Viking, you should have your little square on the screen. You should be at 360 by 260 hoop. I did it. Okay. Okay, Viking people, touch your edit. Whoops. Now we're going to Sequence Creator. Set. All right. Stitch menu. All right. List. Okay. Well, you want to on the Viking. You want to. I'm on step 7 on page 9. Touch your edit menu.
Left spacing.
Okay. This is Viking, and you've got 2 fixed stitches and your basting stitch in between. We do not want those fixed stitches. So we want to touch our trash can, gets rid of the bottom one, move the cursor up, pain, and hit the trash can again. Come on. Oh, I've deleted my stitch. Not good. What is going on? Sorry. My stitch, I want to edit. Okay. I want to
Look, I got
delete that. And I want to delete, hitting the wrong one. Delete that. All I should have left is just that little stitch by itself when I deleted those 2 fixed stitches. Is that what you have? Okay. All right. So now we are ready for step 9. And Liz, jump in with us here, please. Step 9 on page 9. We need to close this screen by touching check mark at the bottom, and then we should be back to our embroidery edit screen with just this little box with one stitch. Now we're going into design shaping. And Liz, you are in Shape Creator. We're going to touch the circle and the star. Diane Pasco, you just have a star. And it's going to bring up a menu of all the different shapes we can have for our design. We're design shaping. We want the very top one, the circle counterclockwise. When you touch that, you should get a circle popped up on your screen.
Okay. Judy, I got to the one little line and now
Say okay.
say, okay.
All right, now go to your design shaping, which is your star. And it should
And
bring up that menu.
Where is that star?
You have to hit OK again. I keep forgetting that. You have to hit the green check mark.
Well, she's on a different machine than you are.
Yeah, I still have like the A menu up. I
You
have
should
like the fixes and the stops, but I don't see a star anywhere.
You shouldn't have the A menu. Well, close the A menu.
Close the A menu, got it.
What else do you see on your screen? Do you see that one little stitch?
I see the one little stitch.
Is it selected?
I just see the stitch. How do I select it?
Should be able just to touch it.
No. Oh, try OK again. No, that didn't do
Are
it.
you in embroidery?
It says program.
No, you shouldn't be in program. You
Okay.
should get out of program.
Yeah, okay, I was in embroidery.
Okay, if you
Okay,
say
I went
okay in
backwards
program,
embroidery. It just took me back to the beginning with the background color, the grid, and all that. So I lost my stitch somewhere.
okay, so then you need to go back and reload the stitch, edit
Okay,
it in program, say, oh, take out the fixed stitches, say okay, and that should bring you back into embroidery edit. And then you should see a star down at the bottom in line
Okay.
with the control wheel.
okay. Continue on and I'll get caught up.
All right, so now we have a circle on our screen. And
Judy,
if
I
we look-
lost my circle. I'm going to have to go back too. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
do you still have your stitch?
No. But I'll catch up.
All right. When the circle comes in, it comes in at 208.8 size. We want to change that size to 210. So if we touch one of the size numbers and hold it, we're going to get our pop-up menu, and we're going to type in 210 and hit the check mark. And that makes us a circle of 210. And if you look very, very closely at the bottom, your one little stitch is down here at the bottom of your circle, because it tells us that we have one stitch. Your number, you should have a number 1 over at the right-hand side, Liz. All right. So now we have, oh, did you get your size, Liz, by selecting scale and changing it to 210?
Are you talking to me?
Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right. So On the Viking, over here on the left-hand side where this number 1 is, if you touch that and hold it, you'll get a number pad pop up. And Liz, if you touch number 1 on the right-hand side of your screen and get a pop-up, you can type in 72 because we
I
want
thought that was really
72
neat
of
with it.
those stitches. I'm sorry? You
No,
already
I
did
already-
that? Okay. All right.
Yeah, that
So
was
now
neat.
what it defaults to spacing those stitches evenly spaced around the circle. We want those to be moved closer together. So we're going to select our spacing tool icon over here, which is this one on the very left end of this row here on the screen, and it says evenly spaced. We want to select centered. And when we do that and close that box, then you can see now they have moved them all up to the top part of the circle and made kind of an extended half circle out of them. All right?
Oh, that's why we got a half circle, right?
Right, because we smushed them all together.
I know, I kept thinking, how did that turn into a half circle? Okay.
All right.
Hey, Judy.
All right, so we are on step 14 on page 10.
Judy,
Yes,
can we go back a second?
sure.
So when I selected the counterclockwise circle and hit the arrow OK, it took me back to just the stitch on the screen. My circle went away.
Well, you shouldn't have hit OK.
Oh,
So go back and get your circle.
so then we're just going to edit the circle. That's where I need to go.
Yes, you should have the scale icon like active, this one here, the second one from the right,
Yep, that one's active.
and it says 208.8 above it.
Yep,
All right, touch one of those 208.8 and hold it till the number pad pops up.
yep.
Now type in 210 and then hit the check mark in that number pad.
Got it.
Okay, now come over to the left and where it
Yep.
has a number 1,
Yep,
touch and hold that till you get a number pad.
yep.
Type in 72.
Got
Touch
it.
your green check mark in the number pad. Come over here, touch this one on the very left end.
Got it.
When it says evenly spaced, touch centered.
Oh, great, great.
Okay? Now you're caught up.
Yep.
So it says you should see number 14 on page 10. You should see a half circle on your screen. Well, we need to touch the box for OK. So it takes us back to embroidery edit, and that's what your screen should look like.
Got
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to repeat this kind of maneuver several times here. We want to make sure it's selected. We want to touch the rotate icon on your screen down here, right next to the move. Then you've got rotate. Touch rotate. In your control wheel in the center, you have a circle arrow with 90 degrees in it. Touch that 90 degrees 3 times. And then your circle, half circle, is open to the right. Okay? Looks like the picture on the bottom of page 10. All right. Oh, somebody turned my page over. All right. Now we want to put that on the right-hand side of our hoop, centered. So my way of doing it is to touch my move icon down here, touch the middle of the control wheel, which will put my circle in the center of my hoop, but I need it to be over to the right-hand side. So right now it is, if you look at your numbers, it's 0 and 0. Okay. I can take and drag it over, and if I drag it too far, I get a red line. So I can back it up a little just with my move thing, or I can use my move to hoop icon over right next to my grid icon, and it'll put it right in the hoop. And it's still at 0, 0 for the up and down position, so I know it's still centered. Does that make sense? To use those numbers to tell you where it is. All right. Now, number 15 on page 11. We want this line to be red. Okay. On, if we touch our palette up here, and Liz, if you touch your palette.
He did, got that.
You did that already, right? And okay, we get into the thing called thread color edit, and it would show us 72 little bars here. We want to change all of them. So the select all is this icon that looks like one box stacked on top of two boxes. If you touch that, then it has a little, it selects all of them. Then if you touch this rainbow wheel over here, it opens a menu where you can change colors. Right now, our current one is black, and it would change it to white, but we don't really want them white. We want them red. So you can touch an area on this color wheel, or because I've used these colors previously, I can select my red from down here. So it's going to put that in the new color box. And when I touch my check mark, it changes the color of all of those stitches to red. So now you can barely see my circle is red. All right. So the next thing we want to do is number 16. We want to make sure our half circle is selected, and we want to use our duplicate icon, which is the bottom row here, and it looks like one page on top of the other. So now I have 2 red circles on my screen. All right. And
Judy, mine
yeah.
says the embroidery combination is too complex.
What?
When I duplicate it, it gives me an error that says the embroidery combination is too complex. It may have too many color blocks, designs, combinations, or been grouped, regrouped too many times. Huh.
Huh. Is your undo button active?
No, now I just, yeah, it's still giving me that arrow when I try to duplicate it.
How many circles do you have on your screen?
Just one.
And it's selected?
Yep.
And it's
That
still
is
giving
weird.
you that.
Hoops 360 by 260.
Uh-huh.
It's at 69.9 and 00.
Okay. Okay, tell me over here, right above that 00,
Yep, it says 72.
says 72.
So
That
you
tells
have
you-
2 of them, so it says 144.
Right, because I've got 2 of them.
Right, and I only have 1.
And 72 is correct. That's how many stitches.
It's the wrong direction.
Anybody else having that problem? Yeah, it won't let me duplicate it.
The only thing I know for you to do is to delete it and go back and recreate that half circle. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to follow along now because I don't want to slow y'all down.
Okay, so when you get it duplicated, with that one selected, we want to repeat our changing color, but this time we want our stitches to be green. So we're going to select all. We're going to go back to our color wheel and we're going to select green. Okay, so then now we have actually 2 circles, but you probably only see 1. Okay, but if you go over, Liz, if you use your layers, you can see both of them. And on the Epics, if you use your arrange menu, you will see that you have 2 circles. All right, and we want to pick the green one and we want to move it to where, right, so it's right on top of the red one. And you can zoom in, and when you zoom in, you can kind of just see a ghost line of the red one. And I know you can't see it on the camera because I can barely see it on the screen. But I know that, let me do this. Select the red one and see where it's positioned. Mine is at 69.9 and 0, just like Diane's was. So if I go back and select my green one and I change its position 69.9 and 0, it will be right on top of the red one. Does that make sense? Diane Pasco, you okay? You're off, your mic is off, sweetheart.
I'm just listening along.
Okay, I'm sorry. It is,
It's
I
okay.
know there's a lot to this.
Yeah, and I just got lost way back, so I decided not to hold people up. But I'm good.
All right. Okay, so if you've got your red one and your green one all stacked up in your hoop, we are going to go back to, let's see. We're on step 17 on page 11. We're going to make sure that nothing is selected on our screen. And we're going back to design shaping, which is the circle and the star, our shape creator on the Pfaff. And we are going to select our shapes. We're going to do a counterclockwise circle again.
What step are you on?
I'm on step 17 on page 11.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Open Shape Creator. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. We did the same, want to do the same circle thing. And we want to change the size from to 210 again. Same size as the other ones. Okay. And Viking, I want you to go to your embroidery designs, which will be the flower at the top. And I want you to pick design N16, which is just a dot. All right. So then when you pick that and close that menu, then you have this one little pink dot down here at the bottom of your circle. And for Viking, you're going to type in, Liz, you're going to do minis and design number 132, but you're going to do 53 of them. Viking, you are going to do 60 of this little dot for your circle. And again, it spaces them evenly, and we want them to be centered. So we'll go back down to our spacing icon, and we will pick centered.
How do you get minus 210?
How do you get, you go into, oh. Oh, you have to be in scale. You have to select scale. The Viking automatically puts you in scale.
That's the circle, the thing, right?
No,
Or
it's you gotta move, rotate, and then scale by the control wheel on the right-hand side of the control wheel. In edit, you have to go into edit.
I'm in edit.
Okay, now on the control wheel, right to the right side of it, you have the four-headed arrow, which is move. You have the circle.
Does that go to minus?
Go to the bottom one, and you should get numbers above the control wheel at 208.
At 210, right?
And you change it to 210, yes.
How do I know if it's minus or plus?
It's always plus, there's no minus.
It shows 210 with a little thing next to it. Yeah. What? Oh, so you know because you went to the left, or you know that you know that that's a minus? Doesn't make any difference.
You're not in your 16-way position. You're not in your 16-way stitch thing. You're in Shape Creator. Are you in Shape Creator?
Yep.
Do you look like this?
Let me see.
Edit the screen look like that?
No. It's got arrows on either side. It's not the top and bottom.
Does it say Shape Creator at the top of your screen? Up here at the very top? Does that say Shape Creator?
That's your Shape Creator. But my highlighted arrows are on either side, not on the top and bottom. Let's see.
this is what I want you to have down here.
Okay. Let's see.
See that? I want you to have that highlighted.
Oh, so I have to be highlighted down here.
That's your resize.
Okay, so it's the 210's going to show for both, right?
Right, because it's locked. There's a lock in the middle of the control wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Shape again.
All right. So did you go get your design number 132 from your embroidery?
Butterfly and open. Touch the butterfly and open.
Okay. Let Liz catch up for a second here.
Mini. Select design 132. No, I don't want that. 132, 132, 132. Okay. Where to go? Oh, it's a little baby design, right?
Yeah. And there should just be one of them down at the very bottom of the circle.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Okay, so now where your number 1 is, over on the right-hand side?
Hit 53.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got them.
Now you want to go into positioning and make them centered. Okay, Viking people.
Oh.
Have you got your half circle and it's all centered?
Oh, go back into Shape Creator.
Okay.
Please.
And then you can hit your Viking, you can hit your check mark and go back to embroidery edit. Maybe. So,
Please center. Touch
and
OK.
you end up with your half circle of dots with the open side to the bottom. So just,
What's it supposed to look like?
it's supposed to look like all the little dots are supposed to be at the top of the circle. Once you've centered them, did you go into positioning and under spacing, select centered?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now does your screen look kind of like mine does, where you've got a circle, half circle of them?
I've got part of a circle, but I haven't, mine's not a half circle. Mine's more than a half.
That's okay, it's a little bit more than half, yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now we're going to make sure that's selected. We're going to select rotate, and we're going to rotate it by touching the center of the control wheel 3 times. So it's open to the right-hand side like the rest of our circles are. And then we are going to move it so it sits on top of the other circles. So I'm going to center mine so it's up and down centered. I'm going to move it over, and my alignment marks showed me that it was lined up with the rest of them. But now it's out of the hoop, so I'm just going to move it back into the hoop with the, go ahead. Yeah,
It's
Maggie.
me. I gotta go.
Okay, is this making any kind of sense, or are you doing okay?
I'm a little bit lost, so I'm gonna have to start over.
It is confusing, I understand.
Yes, it is. So anyway,
There's a lot to it.
there is, and my brain is tired.
Okay, well, go rest your brain.
Okay.
And if you get totally swamped by it, call me or text me or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, have a good day.
You too.
All right. Okay, so now what we have done is we have made, by hook and by crook and through lots of agony and so forth, we have made the applique for the sun. Instead of having the machine make an applique, we did it ourselves. Blood, sweat, and tears.
I
Yes?
didn't, Judy.
Huh?
That last thing did not turn out. I have to redo that.
Okay. So the next thing we want to do is, let's see, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Can I ask
If
a
you
quick
would like-
question?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so I am back on, I finally went back and got everything. I have 2 of them now. But on 17, it says, make sure no designs are selected on your screen. How do you make sure no designs are selected? I have the little layers box open and it shows.
Just touch outside of wherever a design is and it should unselect it.
Got it. Okay.
You okay?
Yep. I'm
Okay,
trying to pay attention and catch up. I don't know that I'm doing it very well.
that's okay. All right, now if you would want to group them, then you could go to the Arrange menu and it will show you your red half circle, your green half circle, and your circle full of dots. And that would be the same in the Layers menu on the Pfaff. And if you want to group them so they don't get out of position, which would be good because our red circle is our placement line for the applique. Our green half circle is the tack down line for our applique. And then the dots is our decorative stitch for our applique. Okay? That's our 3-step applique like we're kind of used to. So if we go to our layers or our arrange menu, we can use the select all icon, which is the 1 box on top of the 2 boxes. And we do that. It selects all of them. And then the icon where there are 3 squares kind of overlapping and with a solid square around it is our group icon. If we touch that, then it puts them all together in one design. So they don't get out of position. All right, because we're going to be adding things to this and we don't want these guys to be running around out of place. All right. So on step 21 on page 12, it says leave the group design on your screen. And then we're going to let the machine make an applique for us instead of making it ourselves. We are going to select design applique, which on the Viking is this little flower with a second little flower underneath and around it. That will put us into design applique. And our screen should look like this. Liz, you are going to go into Applique Creator. You are on step 1 on page 13.
Judy, can I go ahead and do this part even though I don't have my dots in yet?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Great.
And you can go back and create your dots and then use your arrange menu to put them in the right place. All right. So when we bring up our design applique, we need to know what kind of shape, and it gives us lots of shapes, and we're going to select, this time we're going to do a triangle. All right. And this is going to be the rays on our sun. That's why it's a triangle, okay? Scale icon on the Viking should be selected. Pfaff, you need to open edit and touch the scale icon. This time we want to unlock the padlock in the center of the control wheel, so just touch it and then it should look like an unlocked padlock. When it's unlocked, we can change the width and the height of it separately. So the first number is our width, and we want to change that to 50. All right, so now we have this tall, skinny triangle.
That's the scaling.
And then we want to change the height of it to 110.
Unlock it.
So now we have this size triangle. All right.
The width is 50.
Okay.
The height is.
On the Viking, you have the option of 6 different stitches as the decorative stitch on your applique. On the Pfaff, you have an additional icon. It will automatically, on the Pfaff, it will automatically put a satin stitch outline on it. Or you can use this autofill stitch icon, which looks like a little dashed circle, and it'll give you a choice of 20 different stitches for the outside of your applique. If you open that, select stitch number 2. All right. On the Viking ones, we want to select the center one in the top row for our outside stitch, which is a narrow feathered satin stitch. All right. Once you have your outline stitch selected, touch OK on the Pfaff and check mark on the Viking, and takes you back to embroidery edit. On the Pfaff, on number 6 on page 13, open the edit. On the Viking and the Pfaff, you want to select your rotate icon, and you want to touch the center of the control wheel and rotate that triangle 3 times until it's pointing to the left. Okay. Page 14, number 7. All right. You want to move your rectangle so just the bottom is barely inside of your circle of dots, or your just circle. All right. So it looks like a bird with a beak. Okay, with the triangle step number 8 on page 14, you want 5 of these triangles, so you can touch your duplicate icon and type in 4, so it gives you 4 more of them for a total of 5. Or you can just touch your duplicate icon 4 times. But now I've got 5 of these little rascals on the screen. And pardon?
How do I get 4? How do I get that number 4?
You have to go into edit and duplicate.
Oh, okay. We are going to duplicate this 4 times.
Okay.
How do I duplicate it? It won't let me do anything.
Is it selected? Is your triangle selected?
Yes.
Are you in edit?
Yes.
And you can't duplicate it 4 times?
No.
Are you in embroidery edit? Did you get out of Applique Creator?
I'm an Applique Creator.
You are?
Mhm.
You have to say okay to get
There's
out.
there's a trash can and there's a 1. And then there's 2 grayed out things.
You should not be an Applique Creator. You should have gotten out of that.
When?
You should have gotten out at step 5 on page 13. It says Viking, touch the check mark, Pfaff, okay, at the bottom of the page.
I'll hit okay then. See what happens.
Okay.
Now go into edit. Okay.
Now go into edit.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now what we want to do is position these, each one of them, fairly evenly around the circle, like the picture shows in the middle of the page 14 under number 8. And if you are anal, like somebody I know, you can have the rotate icon selected and you can type in the angle number of whichever triangle you have selected. And the angle numbers are in that little graphic on page 8. So you want to move each one and rotate them to an angle and move them so they fit around your circle, just barely inside of the circle. Yeah, and your alignment marks are kind of like if you're used to snap to grid, they can kind of drive you crazy. So I just turned mine off because that lets me move things a little bit littler increments and doesn't jump all over the place. So let's see. So that one is 240. Come on. And that one is 210. Okay. And they just barely fit in the hoop. Okay. So in moving them around, you might get the red lines that something is outside of the hoop, and you may need to manipulate them a bit to, but
I hit the wrong button and I deleted it.
What? You deleted the whole thing?
No, just part of it. I hit the whole thing. Oh well, I can get it.
Okay.
2. I'm gonna put all 4 of them in. 1, 2, 1.
Okay, so you should end up with something that looks kind of like this. All right. And the bottoms of your triangles should be inside your circle, because when you stitch it out, you're going to stitch out the rays of the sun first, and then you're going to stitch the center. So the center of the circle will cover those bottom edges of those triangles. All right. And if you want to be particular about how these stitch out, do you, instead of saying stitch this one and that one and that one and that one and that one in a crazy order, you can go to your arrange menu or your layers panel, and you can say, which one do you want to stitch first? Let's pick the top one. So it right now is the second one in my arrange menu. And I can use this fourth icon down, which says move up, and now it's first. So then I select my second one. Well, it's not even showing right now, my second one. It's at the very bottom, so I need to move it up. So it is second in the sequence. The third one actually happens to be in the third position. The fourth one is in the fourth position, and the fifth one is in the fifth position. So they will stitch out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And if I want to group those to make sure they don't get goofed up, I can do a multi-select. I do not want to do a select all at this point because I have my circles there. So I don't want to group those with the circles. I want to just group the 5 triangles. So I will select that first icon, which is multi-select, and it will let me select just those 5 triangles. And I can use the third icon down to group those. So now when I have 2 things, 2 designs, I have my sun center, my half circle, and my sun rays. All right. And eventually I'm going to, well, let me unselect that. And I'm going to select my rays, and I'm going to move them up because I want those to stitch before I stitch my half circle. Okay, Diane. Did you group your rays?
Yes, I grouped my rays.
All right, so now turn off your multi-select
Okay.
and select your rays
And move them up.
and move them up.
So I click on that little one and move them to the top. Okay, great. So you know what this was for?
You hurting your head?
No, now I
You
know
don't
why.
want it to leak out?
Now I know why we buy sweet pea or Kimberbell. This makes your
Okay.
brain work, though. That's for darn sure.
Okay. All righty. If you would like to save this, which was not a bad idea, you can save it, use your heart icon and save it where you know it is under a name that you like Sun with Rays or something like that. All right.
If I save it, I can still change it to put those dots in, right?
Oh, yes. But you don't want to have to go through all of this again.
No way.
All right. So now we have our sun and our rays. The only thing we need to do now is to put in our words. Okay.
Judy, did we pick a stitch to go around those rays?
Yes. We did the feathered satin, the middle one on the top row.
Okay, I may have missed that part. I mean, we did it on the, oh yeah, we did. Yeah, I see it on the screen.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. It doesn't look feathered because it's pretty small on the screen. But if you've got a fairly big line outside of your raise, you're okay. All right, so now we're on page 15. I'm sorry?
Because we did it in Applique Create, it creates the tack down stitch and all that without us having to do it.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Okay, no problem. All right, so now we're on page 15, topic lettering, about a third of the way down the page. We still have our raise and our sun center on the screen. And we want to open our font menu, the A. All right, and it brings up our list of fonts. Viking, we want to select script 20, Pfaff, Palace script 20. Pfaff, you want to select Pouty 20. Elizabeth, on step 2 on page 15. Now, on your keyboard, you want to type in U and take off your capitals. O-U, Y-O-U, come on. There we go, space. R, word R, A-R-E. Space, my. Come on. All right, you are my. And do not hit your OK or check mark yet. Over on the left-hand side, there's some dots in an arch. And that's our text shape. And it gives us a whole sequence of things that we can shape our text to. We want on Viking, we want to choose the 4th one down, and on Pfaff, it's the 4th one over. So it's an upward arch. All right. And then you can close that menu, and on Vikings, touch the check mark. On Pfaff, say OK. And
Pardon me, but where is this 4th option on the Viking, on the Pfaff?
under text, did you have a 3-dot thing on the?
Yeah, I gotta close this out, right? Do I have what?
It should be above your keyboard. Don't close out your keyboard.
It's on the keyboard?
It's above the keyboard.
Above the keyboard.
And it says ABC on it in half a circle.
I don't see anything that says ABC.
Okay, let me show you.
I don't see anything that says ABC.
When you had your fonts, when you picked your font and you were ready to type,
Yeah,
okay, here's your keyboard, right?
yeah,
And you typed in "you are my," right?
yeah.
Okay. And then up here, see this thing that just turned green?
Oh, okay.
Touch it. And then the 4th one over is the shape you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, it's ABC.
Yes, it's ABC. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now, and then now touch OK to get out of there and back to embroidery edit. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now it's in a circle or in an arched format, but we need to get it turned around. So with it selected, we're going to go back to rotate. we're going to touch the circle or the center of the control wheel 3 times. And then we're going to drag this until it's just barely under that, our dots, okay? And if you want it centered, well, don't worry about that yet. Okay. Just
You don't
drag
want
it so it's barely under the dots, okay? Stop. Stop. Oh. Okay. But you notice that when the letters, all except the capital Y, are kind of even on the top, but the Y sticks up a lot. If we have that selected and we go to our Arrange menu and make sure, or your Layers menu, and you ungroup the third one down, ungroup, it'll make all those letters separate. Okay? And so what we want to do is select the letter Y. And then we want to move that letter Y down so that the top of the Y is even with the top of the OU in that curved format.
What?
Which tab?
Okay? So now
Judy,
that
what?
I have moved that letter Y down,
Judy, what numbers does it show that's at? Mine hopped up to the middle of the screen for some reason.
well, don't
I
worry
think
about it because we'll move it back in place. Just
I was
get
just
your
wondering
Y
what
so
numbers
it's
is
in
that.
line with the rest of them, okay? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're going to go back to your Arrange menu and you're going to select all, turn on your multi-select, the very first one, and you're going to select all of the letters of that, including the spaces, the empty boxes. So you have all of them selected, right? And then you're going to use the group icon and put them back together. Now you can move it as one group and put it wherever you want it. And once you get it so it's kind of fit in the circle, then you can change your height to 0, and that'll center it. All right, let's see. Okay, once you get your letters into position, make sure nothing is selected. And go back to your font menu again. I am on page 16, number 10. All right, we're going into the font menu, and Viking is going to select Mesa 30. Pfaff is going to select Curls 30. And you're going to type in the word sunshine with the S capitalized and the rest of it in lowercase. Once you have that typed in, touch OK or your check mark to go back to embroidery edit. Step 11 on page 16. You're going to select rotate under edit, Miss Liz, and you will rotate it 3 times, 90 degrees. Once it's rotated so it's the right orientation, you will move it so it's just below "You Are My." And again, if you want it centered, you can change that height to 0. And that's what it should look like. Okay, Diane?
I need to go back to the dots, but other than that, it looks great.
Okay, so, all right, while you are here, open your arrange menu or your layers menu, Miss Elizabeth, and this is the sequence you should be stitching out. You should stitch out the 5 sun rays, then the center of the circle, the applique we made, the words "You Are My," and the word "sunshine." That's the sequence it should be in.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Okay,
So question.
Yeah.
I need to unselect them all, then select that one and move it up. So it's raise, circle, sunshine.
raise, circle, "You Are My," and then sunshine.
Oh, where is "You Are My"? I don't see it.
That was your,
It's on my screen.
is it still all individual letters?
No. But
Liz, don't pull your hair out.
I don't, it's not in the layers for some reason.
Can you select it?
Well, that's what's weird.
Oh,
There's sunshine, there's those.
Did it accidentally get grouped with sunshine or in one
might-
of the other?
Okay, so if I unselect everything in the layers menu,
Yeah,
how can I see what's in with sunshine? Should it, it's, oh, no, sunshine has a little box around it by itself,
all right.
but "You
What's
Are
in-
My" nowhere.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I wonder if it's in with the rays.
Well, you should see it if it's in with the rays in the little box here. Select that one and see.
I think it is in there.
All right.
So I need to ungroup that.
Ungroup
So,
that and then regroup in 2 groups.
okay, so which is ungroup?
It is the same as group. It's a toggle. It's the 3rd one down.
Oh,
If you select the rays, then that one should be active. See, if I select the rays, then mine is active. So if I touch that, it's going to ungroup them.
so the rays does have "You Are My" in it. So how do I get it out? I've selected it. So
All
I
right.
just,
So once you ungroup it, did you ungroup it?
there we go. So
All
one
right.
thing that I find tricky, so now I have to unselect everything except the letters.
Yeah.
Okay, there's "You Are My."
And now group that.
Okay, so when you're scrolling up and you have all those letters individual, it's
Yeah,
easy
it's hard.
to miss one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a delicate touch.
Right. So now I hit that group button again. Okay,
Yeah.
now I have "You Are My" selected separate. Yay.
Okay.
So
now
now
are your rays all all 5 together? Or
Yep.
are they all separate?
They're all together. But what's interesting is sunshine is in with one of my circles.
Oh, Lord. Okay, you know what it should be, right?
Yeah,
All right, so you'll just have to be very
Mess with
careful
it.
about what you touch. Yes, Liz, can I help you?
No, I'm through.
You're
Oh,
through?
yeah.
You gonna go take a nap?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I have a question about something on my phone.
Oh my.
I just had a voice message and it said they were from Social Security. Social Security doesn't call you.
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
That's what I
Delete that.
thought. Because it said press 1 and I got rid of it. So you don't
Yes,
do that.
don't do that. Social Security will always send you a letter.
That's what I thought. I listened to it a couple times just to see what they said.
Yeah, well,
So it's
hit
gone.
the big delete button.
I know. And then this phone just has a blank space when there's a message. This is the strangest phone. Okay.
So Judy, is there a way to see all your layers at once? Can I, because I can only see like 3.5 layers. Can I expand that window so I can see them all?
No,
Oh,
sorry.
You have to pull it up.
so
It doesn't expand like they do on the Pfaff.
okay. So the 2 circles, should those be together? They should, right?
Yes.
Well, when do you put the applique on top of the circle?
But she
Should that-
hasn't, her dots, she doesn't have her dots yet. She has to go back and do the dots.
That should be the last stitch.
The letters are the last. It
I
should
mean,
be
but after you put in the spikes or the rays, then you put in the
the sun, the circles,
yeah.
and then the circles, and then the words.
Yeah, okay, got it. And I just thought I had too much in there, so if you go into that layer, then you can delete what you don't want.
Oh my gosh.
You
Okay,
can highlight it that way, otherwise I couldn't highlight it. Right?
right.
Okay. Because I was trying to delete that because I had too many letters in there,
Yeah,
but I couldn't highlight it, so I had to go into the layering and highlight it.
okay,
And then I could delete it.
all right.
This was too involved, this old lady.
It was very involved, but it had some cool things in it, some cool techniques.
Well, it really is, because you can do some of this kind of stuff on that baby lock. I never really thought about, I would do some of these things on baby lock. And I kept thinking, why couldn't I do this on the Pfaff? And now I understand that better.
Oh, good. I'm glad that it was some help.
Okay. So you don't want me to push the baby locks on machines, did you?
No, I don't want you to do that. Thank you, no.
Circle. You are my teacher.
I'll see you at the next class whenever.
Tomorrow.
Are you still home?
Tomorrow is Pfaff workbook.
What?
Pfaff workbook class.
When is that? Tomorrow?
Yeah,
What time?
11.
I don't think I signed up for that.
Well, I bet you'll get it anyhow. You can call Carol and ask her to sign you up.
I'll look and see. I'm not sure I signed up for that because I have a doctor appointment, but that's at 2:30. So
Okay.
Okay, I'm going. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You don't
Bye,
have to leave,
Liz.
Diane.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for all your patience, Judy.
All right. You're
Judy, I
welcome.
have a question when you're done.
All right. You can hang, Diane, if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. We get to go see our new baby this afternoon. I'm super excited.
All right. Well, enjoy.
We had a little granddaughter last week, so I get to go snuggle her, hopefully.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, congratulations.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, Carol, what can I
Oh,
do?
Judy, I'm still back on trying to get the design to my machine.
What design, sweetie?
The picture I took. So I
Oh,
went in, I just like, it kind of lost it all. So I have this, the picture, what I did was I took your sample and I took a picture of it like it was fabric, which was fine.
yeah.
And it wound up in the hoop. And then when I hit the arrow, it still says no devices online. And I went into my Sew-net and I signed in, and Alan checked a lot of the, made sure that we had good connection, and I have connection on my machine. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Any thoughts?
Okay. Hold on. So you are
Okay.
using my Sew monitor.
Correct.
Sheesh.
That's kind of what I said.
What?
Oh, we're sharing a room, so he said, that's what he said.
Okay. Go back to the this screen, okay, on your phone, and you may just have to go out of the app and come back into it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Oh. Okay, design placement.
Okay, I want
Right.
you to go to settings.
Okay, settings. Okay.
All right. Now, in the middle of the screen, it says account, my Sew-net account.
Correct.
And what's the line below it? Does it say log out?
In red, yes.
Okay, so you are signed in.
Yes.
Dang. So once you took your picture, and you have to have the hoop. You took a picture of what?
I took a picture of the front page, and I took white paper and I covered up all the writing, and I'll
Okay,
show you what I have.
You have to
And
have a hoop, Carol.
No, it didn't have a hoop. But once it took the picture, it put it in a hoop.
It put it in a hoop. Okay.
It did.
All right.
And that's why I thought, oh, cool, I can follow along with this.
Okay. So it put it in a hoop. And did you get the pink dots?
I did.
Okay. It doesn't matter whether you moved them or not. Okay.
I'll show you what I have. Let me see if I can do this.
Did you get the pink screen that said success?
I did.
All right. And you touched the airplane?
I did.
And it said there's nobody.
It says no devices. Make sure your devices are connected to Wi-Fi and logged into your My Sew-net account. And then underneath there's a little green box that says, okay, I got it. And I clicked on that, and then it still kept saying no devices online.
Okay, and on your sewing machine, if you touch the cloud,
Yes,
it gives you something like this.
correct.
Well, that's a pain in the butt.
Kind of, sort of.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Let's see if I can show you what I have here. I don't mind showing you
Well,
if this will
oh,
work.
okay. Oh, there you
Okay,
are. Hi.
so this is what I
Okay.
have.
All right.
And see, it put it in a hoop.
Okay, so now touch your airplane for me.
Trying to keep
On your
this steady.
screen. You can
Yeah,
turn
away
it so
from.
you can see it. And then turn it back for me.
Okay, well, I can maybe do both. Can you see that?
Yeah? All right.
See?
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense at all.
I know, it doesn't. So, I don't
And
know.
when you touch on the Wi-Fi symbol on your machine,
See?
you get,
Oh, yeah, I'm connected. Boss home, yep. And it's not grayed out, it's white, just like the cloud is white.
yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, maybe you'll think of something later on. I don't, you've been in class a long time and teaching, so you can always let me know.
Is your phone on Wi-Fi?
Yes, Alan checked that.
Okay. The only thing I can ask you to do is just to reboot your, turn your machine off and turn it back on and see if that makes a difference. Not that it necessarily would.
But then, yeah, I don't know why.
Does the, in the machine says what it's on Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi, I know. I'm gonna shut it off.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to somebody else.
And turn it back on.
All
and
right,
see
now I'll
what-
turn it back on. All righty. Looks the same to me. What should I do? Go into start new or just look at the top?
Your Wi-Fi is white, your cloud is white.
Yes.
Okay, try your sending your airplane thing again.
Okay.
Yeah, working.
No, same thing. No devices online.
There's a mismatch somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't have any idea what.
Yeah.
And
Where would I start to check that out if the mismatches?
the fact that if you were, make sure that you're on the same Wi-Fi on the, I mean, you probably only have one Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So your phone and your machine are on the same Wi-Fi.
Yes. Well.
Right, right.
You know, the only thing Alan checked to make sure they were the same, right?
Yep.
Just not just when you bring up the Wi-Fi symbol, you get all of the availables, and you have to make sure you check yours.
That's correct. And we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay. Well, we did everything we could do.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's got me baffled because there's no place else for it to go.
I know. You're so right. Well, at least I don't feel too stupid, I mean.
You're not stupid. Your devices are.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate that. And I listened along and made some notes, but it would have been fun to be able to do some of it. Yeah.
Well,
I know.
If
Well,
you decide
maybe.
to go back and do it, you know where to find me.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it again. I got to get everybody some lunch now. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it, and it was very, very. It was good to sort of stretch you. So thank you for the class.
Thank you for being here. I will talk to Carol and see if she has any ideas.
Okay, that sounds fine. We don't have control over these machines, right?
Not very well.
Not very well. All right. Well, you have a good rest of your day.
You too, dear. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.